I'm Bill Flanagan in downtown Pittsburgh, where the room is abuzz over an ambitious new initiative to imagine a transportation vision for the future of our region. The newly formed Regional Transportation Alliance of Southwestern Pennsylvania is reaching out to organizations all across our 10-county region to find out what bugs them about the current state of our transportation system and what could be done to make it better. Dennis Jablonski is Chief Executive Officer of the Allegheny Conference, and this really began with the planning process the conference went through last year. What is it your members told you about transportation?
Yeah, I mean, when we hosted over 1,000 of our member representatives over a 4-month period, one of the top priorities that they brought up was the need for better connectivity for their people and for goods and services to be able to move. And this is all forms: roads, bridges, rail, air, bicycles, light rail, walking, etc. And basically said we need to do something about it over the long term. And then when we went to Denver, which was towards the tail end of our planning process, we got a vision of one example of how this could play out, and a regional multimodal transportation vision. And the conference board then subsequently said, go to it, but don't do it incrementally. Do it in a transformative way. Make it long-term, make it big, make it substantive. And that led to this thing we announced today called the Regional Transportation Alliance.
Rich Fitzgerald, Allegheny County Executive, you went with the delegation that took a look at Denver and what they were doing there when it comes to transportation infrastructure. What really struck you about what they've managed to accomplish?
Well, what struck me, a couple things. Number one, how they really do work together, multi-county, multi-regional efforts that they have. But what we also learned is when they started this process a number of years ago, they had failures. They tried to do certain things, running a rail line to a certain place or developing multimodal transportation, and it didn't always succeed on the first go around, but then they stayed with it and were able to make it succeed and actually make it better. So my sense is when you're bringing over 700 groups together with a lot of input, trying to reach a consensus won't be easy, but I think my sense is we'll be able to do that.
Ken Zapinski, Senior Vice President for Energy and Infrastructure at the Allegheny Conference. How are you going to do this? How are you going to get the kind of input you're looking for?
It's a real challenge, and I think one of the great things is that technology really helps to do this. 20 years ago, going out and trying to talk to 1,000 organizations across the region to find out what they're thinking about transportation would have been a logistical nightmare. Through the magic of email and electronic data collection, we are doing a massive crowdsourcing activity. We've got close to 750 organizations in our database right now, and we're adding more every day. So we'll be sending out a community feedback instrument to these organizations, asking them what is the most pressing transportation problem that your organization or your clientele face, and how do you think it can be fixed? And we'll be taking back those electronically and then analyzing the data to find out what common themes are out there, and then try and stitch that together into at least an initial version 1.0 of imagining what transportation could look like in the future.
Brian Heary is President and CEO of Mitsubishi Electric Power Products, and you're co-chairing this initiative, representing the private sector. Why? What got you interested in this process?
Well, of course, first I was invited, and when I gave some consideration to it, Bill, I realized that transportation is so important to us from a business perspective. Of course, I'm a resident of the area, so I have an interest, but more from a business perspective. We have about 650 employees in this area, and I looked the other day, we actually have people coming to our location in Warrendale from all 10 counties, and we buy product from almost all 10 counties, and then we ship around the world. So transportation is a big deal for us.
So now's your chance. If you've ever complained about the state of transportation in our region, this is the opportunity for your organization to weigh in. So visit the website, regionaltransportationalliance.org, and put in your 2 cents. For the Allegheny Conference, I'm Bill Flanagan.